Okay, I've got two cases with you both here. So in the first one, Ms. Meyer has asked for a contempt finding for violations of a previously granted order. And then it looks like Ms. Adams has filed her own independent petition subsequent to that. And the hearing on that is set for today. I'm going to handle these kind of at the same time since you're both here. So I'll just hear what you both have to say and make a decision on both issues, the contempt issue that's been raised and on whether or not there's going to be an additional order granted. Okay, makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. The contempt issue is a little bit different than the hearings that you've seen happen up to now this morning, but it's also similar. So uh, just sort of to frame that up, Ms. Meyer has brought allegations that Ms. Adams has engaged in conduct that violates the restraint provisions of the anti-harassment order that was issued earlier. And she's asking the court to make a finding that that occurred and to issue a contempt order. So that's a little bit different than granting an order, but the standards of proof are basically the same. So, all right, I'm going to have both of you raise your right hands, please. Do you each swear that the testimony you give in these matters will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
All right, so I'm Ms. Myers. I'm going to let Ms. Meyer. I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. So I had filed a anti-harassment, I want to say it was like May 19th now, and I had it granted. And since like right after that, a lot of things escalated to the point where I've had to talk to my landlord and I've had to call law enforcement. Law enforcement has been a bit harder because when I've contacted them, they've told me several times that my anti-harassment order wasn't served. So then I've had to call the court to get it to like verify to say like the law enforcement is saying that my anti-harassment isn't served and they're telling me it has been served. We have sent it. So then they've had to contact law enforcement again to say like this has been served. And then I've had to call law enforcement to like confirm and say the court has called you and sent you that this anti-harassment has been served. And because that was such an issue for me to even get like figured out, there have been multiple times where Cindy has violated my anti-harassment. And according to the cops, each time that I call them is a isolated time. So it's like I can't refer to it again. So it's like something has happened and I've had it on video where she's contacted me like directly. I can't like call them again and say like now can you help me because I've of my anti-harassment. It's been more along the lines of them coming and say like first they were like you need to get video proof because it was more verbal. So I understood that. I was like okay then. So then I would have video and then they would say well, now I don't have anything here that says that your anti-harassment served. So it's just kind of been an ongoing thing. So like the next step, I talked to a lawyer. The next step was like contempt, and they said just to give the information that I had. There have been incidents where she's yelling and screaming outside my door to the landlord, and I had a video of that, but the lawyer said because it wasn't directed at me, not to that it wouldn't be something would that I could show the court, but I wanted to show it just because I wanted you to hear like how she talks and how she's screaming at like someone, even the landlord. And there have just been like situations where the maintenance, even my landlord has come to me and said that she said these things about them to the point where I'm like, that's how it is for me, where she's doing harassment to me directly. In the evidence that I sent you, there's videos, or not videos, of also photos of her trying to break into the laundry room where the knob and the lock have been completely broken out. And I've called the landlord and he's even verbalized and said, oh, she told me she was going to do this and I can't believe that she did it. And so then he took access of the laundry room from her because she messed with the like construction of the like the vent, and she's like screwing things, and so he took that away from her, and I feel like that kind of escalated it, but mostly it's been just about me, my home. I feel like anxious even being here. My landlord has given me keys to another property that he has, that when I'm not feeling safe, I could stay there. I can't live there because it's a property he's selling, but he has given me keys because he knows I have my son, and he knows how like unstable she is because he doesn't want me to be around it. Um, it's been like an ongoing thing. The landlord has verbalized to me that he is working on like an eviction because even this harassment has gone to the point to him as well, because this has nothing to like pertain to my case, but I just want to say it because it also like shows her unstable behaviors, because he came to me after talking to her and said that she's implying to him that that she was going to say that he touched her inappropriately when he didn't. So it's just been like an ongoing thing all the way around. And for me, it's just been like I'm trying to keep my son in a stable and safe environment. Luckily, all the times that she's done stuff, my son has not been present. And I've been able to have him with his dad, or I've been able to have him at that property just to make sure that he's not here when she's like yelling or there's something going on or the cops are here. But it's been like a situation where it's just caused so much anxiety, and I don't even feel like calm or safe like in my home. So it's mostly about like having my son here. And I feel like it in the last month and a half, he has barely even been here because I don't want him around this environment.
All right, well, let me hear from you, Mrs. Adams, both on the issues that Ms. Myers brought up about potentially violating the order and about your own petition for an order against Ms. Myers.
Could I ask you first, because I did go over the what was filed on both the cases last night, and I didn't see the police reports. Did you see any of that? Because that's kind of like what I'd like to focus on, if I may. I can provide you with the copy so we could follow along a little bit, and I'll try to go through this pretty quickly.
These are police reports?
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome.
Have you given those to Ms. Meyer?
Yes, it's it's all been.
Let me see what you have here.
It's all been filed. I highlighted.
You might have filed those. I've got two cases I've got to
Yeah,
take a
I
look
didn't
at
see
here.
it myself, and I searched and searched, and I didn't see videos of where she's saying I contacted her directly, which I haven't, and the landlord verified that I had not as well in one of the conversations with Officer Paul. I just would like to go over each one of these a little
These
bit
are
briefly.
Lacey police reports. All right, let's see. Ms. Meyer, did you get these Lacey police reports? Well, they're not really police reports. They're abstracts of
Yeah,
calls.
I seen like I seen like some of them. I didn't really it didn't I mean it's showing that like the police officers came here and like verbalized, but it's not showing, I'm not really understanding like how that really pertains to like me, because I mean it pertains to me, but I just don't, I read them, but I'm not really seeing like.
Well, my question isn't whether you agree with them
Oh,
or think
okay.
there's any merit to them, just whether you know about them. Have you
Yeah,
had notice of these?
I seen the
Yeah,
ones that are in the documents that she served me.
okay. I don't see those here. Let me see if I just missed them. Aha, I found them. Okay. So yes, you did file these. They're in your petition, and now I found them. So, okay, mystery solved.
I have extra copies.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I
Were
appreciate
you
that.
able to go over them, or we could go
Yeah,
over?
these are just CAD logs. These are recordings that the 911 center makes that sort of outline the basis of the call and who responded, and sort of like a skeleton version of
Mhm.
events, and then the disposition. So yeah, they're not really police reports so much as they're just sort of documentation of contacts and actions taken by law enforcement, taken by the 911 dispatch center at TCOM. So yeah, I'm very familiar with these. I know exactly what they are.
I'd like to be a little more specific on the charges or the accusations. So Bianca was granted a protection order on May 19th, and May 24th, it started with her calling the police. Yeah, I was doing my laundry and I did it up till midnight. But she called dispatch and told them I was yelling and pounding outside. And the officer came and she said she had a video of me making excessive noise. And I was just doing my laundry, and he listened to the video, and he made a comment here that that there was nothing unusual about that he could barely hear on her video of me opening and closing the machines. He also noted that there was no sign of malicious intent. Basically, what I perceive is happening here now is because this went on for a week. It was every single day. I would go to the store and I come home and I was greeted by two police officers at the end of my driveway over the knob in the laundry room. The day after, or I think it was the day after the next day, she was so upset about Officer Gutierrez not arresting me because I was taking so long to do my laundry, that the next day in the report that's I'd use the last three numbers of the police event 020, she called him. She called and got him. He was working at the time, Officer Gutierrez, same officer that came out and demanded. It says she demanded that I have have Cindy arrested. And then he goes on to say, then and he just responded that she was just doing her laundry, and that he doesn't hear anything on the video of anything but that. And then she wanted to speak to his supervisor. It seems to me that he was, I can't say how another person feels, but he went on the next page to that and said he's going to write a report and refer it to the prosecutor because of not my actions, but her actions, demanding that he have me arrested for doing my laundry late at night, which is not uncommon for either one of us. We live in an odd situation with the houses that's been divided up into a duplex. Then let me see. So the thing with the vent, I mean, she's gone so far as to accuse me of there's a vent, it's a hole in the laundry room, and she's gone so far as to say that I took the vent off and I was peering through her house while she's sleeping on the couch, and she just suddenly wakes up and sees me staring at her. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. I did try to cover the vent because the officer had told, I'm sorry if I get a little loud. I get a little loud when I get upset. But the officer had told me she was using the vent that goes into the laundry room. It is on the other side of her wall is a kitchen. And unfortunately for her, that the laundry room is she could hear the sounds more into her kitchen than the way the house is situated. I'm further back, so I don't hear it as much. Occasionally I do, but if the buzzer or something, but for her, you could hear it. So, I mean, it was twofold or more than that I even covered it up, but she didn't like the idea that I covered it up. I covered that vent up because she was using it to videotape me. You know, this is the privacy of my home, even though we shared the laundry room. She went so far as to have her friend Tristan Chapin come over and tear off the frame of the door, which is the door to my entrance into the laundry room. Hers is from her kitchen. We have separate doors. And that door has a lock on my side, keeping her from entering my unit and me vice versa. So her not liking that I took so long to do my laundry and whatever she thinks she went on to say I was harassing her because I'd taken so long. I was washing everything. But mostly because the officer wouldn't arrest me the next day for that she went so far as to have called her friend over and he tore the door frame off on this side and used it of my door and used it to board up the door so I couldn't gain entrance into the laundry room. In the meantime, it was anyway, we talked about the vent thing. So there was a point so I was texting the landlord and he said that he would because the landlord did come over at some point. He came over and him and I, as soon as he pulled up, she comes running out. I'm by my car. I'm walking out the door, but I'm still by my car. And I have not made any contact with her whatsoever. I have done my best not to. She has tried to antagonize me. She has tried to coerce me into situations to talk to her. I don't even know why she has a protection order. The very next day, this happened on Saturday with the laundry. The very next day on Sunday, I'm out washing she has a garbage can as she assigned me this garbage can and she has this one. And I'm cleaning my garbage can. This was the very next day. It only took her 4 days to take that protection order and use it to harm me with, and I knew that she would. So I'm out I'm cleaning my garbage can out and I'm washing my car. And she comes out, she pretends to she's going to put something in her trash like this. And then she walks over, and it's so petty, it's ridiculous. She walks over and she's looking at me, and I'm standing by my car and I'm getting ready to wash my car because I rinsed out the can, but I have some trash next to the can because I was still working on that. And she walks over, she looks at me and she grabs she is like this. And she's watching me the whole time, and she grabs the tip of the garbage bag and goes like this. And like as if there's this invisible line and don't cross it on the gravel. So for somebody that's so fearful of me, why are you putting yourself in harm's way? If I'm such you think I'm going to do something, but you come out and you stand there, you're not 10 feet from me. She did the same thing with her son. She sent her son out to play ball in the driveway, and I've lived there for 15 months now, and she's lived there a couple months longer. And the situation is the house has been divided, and I'm in the back and she's up here in the front. And the driveway is, yes, she uses it because she has a parking space here, but I mainly use it because I have to go here, and nobody is allowed to park in the driveway. It was stated from the beginning by the landlord, though she had tried to do that at the beginning, and she has not done it since. Once I told her I don't want to be blocked in, but that went on to another story here. But so I felt she said, from what I could tell, I hear her son out bouncing the ball in the driveway, and I'm inside, and I'm not going to go outside because the protection order has his name on it too. And so I have a window right there. And so the curtain's open a little bit. And I noticed her cat was laying in a planter box, which, I don't care about the cat, that's what they want to do. And so I saw the boy and he waved at me. And for one thing, he's never played out there in the 15 months I've been there. And he's never waved to me. And so, but I could tell he was about 10 feet behind my car. And so she has this little strip of sidewalk. And I could tell by the way he was acting, he was taking his orders, I don't want to say orders, but instructions of how to act with me, because he would look over her and then look over. I couldn't see her, but you could tell when somebody's interacting with somebody else. And so, but for him to wave, because I felt that she told him to go out there, and actually, I know this sounds a little bit crazy, but to wave at me because she's calling the police every single day over petty stuff. And they're saying she hasn't violated her order. She's calling the police back and saying, well, what does she got to do to violate her order? Can I help her? She's trying to help me violate the order. That's where the coercion comes in. And as far as cars, this picture part, she had her friend parked right behind me at 9 o'clock at night. I want to go to the store before they close. And she's saying, and yes, I did honk to have her come out. She never did come out, and police had to come, but the police are, so what I believe is happening here is she is using the courts to try to get me arrested and to turn around, and because the police are saying she hasn't done anything wrong. There's no intent. There's 3 times for sure in these police reports that the police are saying no. So she says, oh, well, okay, I can't get them to do it. Maybe I can get the judge to do it. And then by that, she's going to go back and she's going to tell the landlord, okay, he's going to have her arrested. Now let's get her evicted. And it even mentions that she had that conversation with a police officer getting her evicted. She's telling them, she's telling the police, it's all written in here. She's telling the police what she's going to do. I'm going to make it. She tells one police, I'm going to make it where she doesn't have access to the laundry room. She's telling them beforehand, and they said, I'm going to make it where she gets evicted. So that's suggestive to everything that's been going on. For that last week. I mean, this has been going on a little bit longer.
All right, I understand.
Okay. And I apologize. I am very nervous, and I feel like I'm in lockdown in my house. I've been scared to death. I talk to my daughter about it all the time. I talk to my brother who lives in Florida about it all the time. And I've got my curtains closed. I'm afraid to go out in my car, and she's got, watching me all the time. And anything that she has, I'm gonna lower my voice, anything that you may have read in there, because I have gone over some things, she has submitted, she says videos, and my restraining order, though it's temporary, and I'm seeking a more permanent one, says that she cannot continue to videotape me. Well, but she keeps saying I'm videotaping her. So anything that she has presented to the court that's you're reading about, I've looked at the dates that she's talking about, and they're before my restraining order of May 19th. But she's what I see her doing too is misleading. She's misleading the police. She's lied to Officer Paul, saying that I made contact. I looked for that video. She was saying that I made direct contact. I want to see that. Anyway, I have said, no, right. I have not made direct contact. I have tried to avoid her.
Like I said, I understand, and I think you're kind of hitting the point where you're repeating things that you've already said, and so it might be time to stop here. All right, I'm going to tell you my ruling on both things. First of all, the contempt on the 25-133. I don't think contempt has been proved here. There's not a substantial basis to find factually that there were intentional violations of the order. I went back and reviewed the order, and the prohibitions have not been violated as far as what I can find here based on the filings, based on the testimony. Not satisfied by a preponderance of the evidence that occurred. So I'm going to deny the motion for contempt. And then the petition under 25-160 to issue an order basically in the other direction. I'm going to deny that as well. I know that there's difficulties introduced into this relationship by the fact that an anti-harassment order exists, but a person making reports of violations of an order and calling the police is not going to serve as the basis for harassment. So Ms. Adams, I'm not going to do that. Now, you have the right, Ms. Adams, to request the court by filing a motion to do this, to review or rescind the order that was issued on May 19th. That's not before the court right now, so I'm not making any rulings on that.
No, could you tell me again why you're not? Your Honor,
Because you
she's
have
not
to-
gonna leave me alone. I've been a nervous wreck. I can't take anymore. I want her to stay on her side and I will stay on my side. Please don't talk to me. Don't have nothing to do with me. Now I have to go out to the laundromat all the time. I have a broken wrist that's still trying to heal. And to have to lift all the laundry, it costs $150 a month, which the landlord is having to pay because of her selfishness. But Your Honor, if I don't have, because she has the restraining order, so she has or thinks she has the upper hand. I don't know how I've not proven that she has not harassed me since she got that restraining order. She's going to keep coming after me. So what is it I didn't prove?
You have to prove by preponderance of the evidence that harassment occurred, and that has not been done, particularly by showing that she's attempted to have the anti-harassment order enforced. You find that disagreeable, but that doesn't serve as the basis to prove that she's engaged in a pattern of harassment. That is
calling the police on me every single day. Calling the police on me every single day is not harassment.
Now, like I said, the order itself, the order that was issued earlier, I believe that by Judge Meyer, you can ask the judge to review that if it's having consequences that he needs to be aware of to make modifications to the order. If you file a motion like that, the court may very well consider it.
Let me write that down. Okay, tell me again so I can write down because I'm not going to remember it. And directly to him?
No, to the court.
But not. Okay, what do I say now?
I'm not going to tell you what to say.
No,
I'm just
I know.
telling you that there is a procedure by which you can ask the court to review an order that's been issued and make modifications to it. You just have to make the request and support it in writing, and the judge will determine whether that merits a hearing.
So, well, I don't know why I'm not getting this. Review an order that's been issued. I don't have an order now. It's my temporary order.
The order that was issued in 25-133, the one that restricts you. If
Right.
those restrictions are causing you problems, you can ask the judge to review that. Okay. All right, so I've denied the order under 160. I've denied the contempt under 133. There are no written findings to accompany the denial of contempt under 133. That's done on the record orally. There's a written motion denying the petition under 160.
Your Honor, can I say something?
All right, what would you like to say?
There was also another order that she tried to serve on me that was a not the anti-harassment that she was trying to serve on me. There's another one where she tried to serve like contempt. Is that also getting dismissed? Because she's saying that
I don't have that in front of me for a hearing, so I don't know what you're referring to, but the only action that's been taken is what I referred to.
Okay. Okay.
All right, Ms. Adams, these are your copies here. And that'll conclude your hearings for today.
Okay.
All right, now let's see if we can get Mr. Simmons back. I see you've logged back in there, Mr. Simmons. Can you turn on your microphone?
Yeah, there you go. Can you hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you. I can see you. And I've got Mr. Huffman here who's been patiently waiting. So we're going to take this one up. Again, this is 24-201. Okay, and as I said earlier, but you weren't here to hear that, Mr. Simmons, this is Mr. Huffman's motion to renew the previously granted anti-harassment order that's set to expire here in a little more than a week. So Mr. Mr. Huffman's asking the court to extend that order in its current form for longer. So before I go any further with that, Mr. Simmons, do you have any objection if the court were to extend that order for longer?
Yeah, I should have been the one that been granted an order against him. Him and all the surrounding neighbors that live around me, they're constantly harassing me since day one, since I moved in 5 years ago. I'm a targeted individual.
Let's refocus here a little bit, Mr. Simmons. I need you to understand the court's not reviewing whether that order should have been issued in the first place. That is a hearing that's been held, done, and decided. That's all in the past. So that's a closed issue. It's done. The issue is the court going to extend that order any further than July 8th? That's the issue before the court.
I hope not.
So I'm asking you if you care if it's extended or not, or it sounds like you do. So
yeah,
the burden, it's a little bit different than an initial petition or these other cases that you've heard today. There's a presumption that the order will be renewed unless the respondent, that's you, Mr. Simmons, shows by a preponderance of the evidence that acts of harassment are unlikely to occur in the future. So since that burden's on you, Mr. Simmons, I'm going to hear from you first, and then if necessary, I'll hear from Mr. Huffman. So can I have you both raise your right hands, please? And Mr. Simmons, do you swear, do both of you swear that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, Mr.
Yes.
Simmons, on the issue of whether the order should be extended for additional time, what would you like to tell me?
I don't find it necessary. And I would like to be able to go in that direction down that street because I'm an outdoorsman and I'd like just to have access to the mountain there. And with that in place, I can't. I used to be a cyclist and I'd like to be able just to ride my bike up and down the road, and we live on a dead end road and I can't even do that. But
Which road is that?
I'm not a person. It's Fennel Road.
That's a dead end road?
Yeah, it just runs into a dirt road which goes into the mountains.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But it's
So tell me why it is you
I'm a
can't go
laid back
down that
person.
road. I don't, just from the face of it, I don't
Because
understand why that's a problem.
Because the restraining order says I can't come within 100 feet from his house, and his house is right next to the road.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that.
I don't want no problems with anybody. That's the last thing I want.
Second here, I'm going to look some information up. Okay, so that 100-foot restriction prevents you from going down to the end of the road. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see what that order currently says. Oh, there. Yeah, it says 100 feet from the protected person's residence. Okay, I understand. All right, Mr. Simmons, did you want to tell me anything else?
No, that's basically it. I never wanted to have any problems whatsoever, and it's unfortunate that it's been like this. But other than that, just having access just to go to the end of the road would be nice.
All right, let me hear from you, Mr. Hoffman.
Okay, so if he didn't want to have any issues, he shouldn't be yelling at his neighbors from his property to get them to engage him. Like he'll yell at us, like if my wife or my daughter's calling the dogs, he'll mock them to try to get us to engage. I was out in the yard doing yard work and he heard my music and he'll start, like mocking it, trying to get us to engage. That happened before last
That's
year,
not true.
that's when he shot me in the ass with the slingshot. And now within the last month, maybe 2 months,
That's-
we've heard arms fire
Mr. Simmons, don't interrupt, okay?
come from his property.
I'm sorry.
So now that seems as though it's not feasible, not accurate, not or something he should have. And then my other neighbor that's on the other side of him walks her dog up and down the road. And when she heard him firing, she did not feel comfortable enough to pass by his driveway. So she stopped in front of my driveway, which I have on video, called her husband to come pick her up because she didn't want to walk in front of his driveway. So now it's to the point where it's gone from a slingshot. Now he has a small arm, a small caliber aiming or a small caliber gun.
Okay. I'm going to allow this order to be extended for another year. I think it's necessary to keep the peace and for Mr. Huffman to maintain the protections he's had under this order. All right, I've extended the order, same terms and conditions as the original order until July 8th of 2026. All right, and the court clerk will provide copies of that to both parties before the end of the day. All right, thank you, gentlemen.